Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Am I right? Am I wrong?
To get a fight done. But no one can ever say that I disrespect Muhammad Ali because everyone knows that how high I hold Muhammad Ali. He's number one boxer in the world forever and ever in my life. And I'm number two. That's how high I hold him. So I've never disrespected Muhammad Ali. But did I want to get a fight with her? Yeah. You need to go and watch it again.
Right. So the thing about the 15 million, she said, if last time I spoke, she said something like, if someone had 15 or 20 million, don't talk to me. Unless you have that, then don't talk to me. She didn't say, give me 15 million, I'll fight Claressa. So how are you getting that? She said, give me 15 million and I'll fight Claressa. Because I've even talked about, I've compared it to Anthony.
You just said it.
She said, unless somebody has 15 to 20 million, and she said, don't talk to me. She said, but I'll think about it. She said she'll think about it. She didn't say she would fight you.
15 didn't even make her think because she never wanted to fight. And you know what? I don't really care to talk about Laila Ali. I beat them to this channel to tell Otto that.
Okay. She didn't want to talk about Laila Ali, right? She said she wasn't there trying to disrespect Muhammad Ali. She was just trying to get a fight with Laila. Even after I pointed out to her, because she must have thought I didn't know what the hell I was talking about and I'm not keeping up with goddamn boxing. Even after I pointed out to her what other people had pointed out to her, some people didn't point out to her after she went on their platforms for the interview because they obviously were afraid to point that shit out. I told her, Laila Ali said, unless somebody has 15 to 20, I will think about it. So even after I pointed it out to Claressa, you could tell she didn't like that shit. And she was like, anyway, I don't want to talk about Laila. So I left it alone, right? The whole interview, I left it alone. So I'm sitting here minding my business. The last couple months, people trying to figure out why Hood Champion not talking about Claressa as much. Because I figured there's nothing, what more can I talk about? I had a conversation with her. She and I didn't see eye to eye on a lot. I appreciated her calling in because that's a big deal, you know what I'm saying? And I was coming like a broken record. So I was like, well, I'm going to just chill. There's going to be a time to talk about some things, but other than that, I don't just want to be nefarious just coming out here making the jokes and doing shit just because I'm great at doing it. But I'll just sit back and chill. It's something going to pop off. But I was still talking about her and talking about boxing. But now, everybody knows how I feel about Laila Ali and Muhammad Ali, right? The real ones know. Anybody else who listens to what some, person out here who doesn't know anything about me, people trying to get clicks, well, then they don't know me. But when I heard that shit today, the guy from Wynn Records talking to the kids and something about 15 million and Laila Ali's name. And I'm like, why are they mentioning Laila Ali? Everybody knows that should get me worked up, you know what I'm saying? Because if you take a shot at Laila Ali, you're taking a shot at Muhammad Ali. So my thing is this. If you're going to talk shit about Laila or poke her in the eye or try to provoke her and get her under her skin, don't get mad when Hood Champion start back doing these videos. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of the most, I got a great sense of humor, but I'm also respectful. I know when things can go too far. But it seems other people out here don't know when they're going too far. They don't know when to throttle back. Because that shit today made no sense. What Laila Ali already did her 2 videos and she left it alone. She ain't said nothing. She hasn't said anything about Claressa. Even I sat back and chilled. Everyone knows I throttled back because I got some class to me. Laila Ali got some class to her. We like, all right, we said we got to say, okay, cool, whatever. But there's certain things that happen where it's like, yo, you got to respond. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but I tell you what, to what they did today, to that I say, in the most respectful way, hey, yo, Wynn Records, Papoose, Demetrius Salita, Claressa Shields, all of y'all, that whole team, GOAT, hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. That shit is wild to me, man. So shit's been reignited. Y'all done went out here and set a flame off over here. You know what I'm saying? That comment coming from Wynn Records, that shit's tied to Claressa Shields. They all together referencing the alleged $15 million offer made to Laila for a fight that Laila rejected, of course. See, the key issue is not whether the money existed or whether the fight was realistic, which we still doubt that shit. The issue is why her name is still being brought up at all. Laila Ali is off limits. Don't say nothing about it. The woman already said she ain't fighting you. She don't want nothing to do with Claressa Shields. Why would she fight her to where she benefits and gets a payday off of the Ali name? So her name's still being brought up at all after she clearly said she's moved on, ship sailed. Adios, arrivederci, hasta luego, sugo hasio. How many ways can I say goodbye, motherfucker? How many languages? Laila made 2 public videos. Talk about combination punching. Gave her stance. And since then, she ain't said nothing about Claressa. She ain't never said nothing about her team. But for me, in my videos, I've always said, and I wonder who's behind all this shit. But now we know. But I was saying, I believe that it's Papoose Pat and Demetrius Salita, I believe, was the whole team that was behind all this, pushing her to go out there and say these things about Laila and try to get under his skin, and even the disrespect to Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? And may he rest in peace. I've always said that. I believe that they're the ones that was pushing it, because the way Claressa was going, I was like, yo, these cats was like, yo, you go do so and so and so, because they wanted to get that Wu-Tang cream, cha-ching ching, dollar bill, y'all. But they didn't get it. So, I mean, you're out here, it's like an aftershock. Okay, boom. Laila Ali hit y'all with the earthquake, had y'all off looking crazy, equilibrium's all scared, getting under desk and shit, because she rattled their cages with them 2 videos. Now you got some aftershocks out here. Somebody want to still say something here, say something there. That shit was wild to me. Last press conference, what were they saying? Oh, this is the Laila Ali and Wolf fight that never happened. Hey, yo, to that I say, in the most respectful way, hey, yo, Claressa Shields, hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. You and Franchon is a good fight, but there ain't no goddamn Laila Ali and Wolf. Now, Claressa and Shadesha Green, that's a little bit closer. And Franchon can scrap. But still, to come out here and to try to, we got to be real here. Because I don't even think I want to say that. Because Laila Ali ain't trying to compare Claressa to no Laila Ali. Period. I won't even do that. I can't even say that. Laila Ali, Ann Wolf, Claressa, Shadesha. I could mention Shadesha with Ann Wolf. But I can't mention Claressa as far as comparing her to Laila. I can't do it. I will not do it. I'm not going to. I'm just telling you, that shit just irked me today, man. I'm out here sick. I got handyman virus and shit. And I didn't even know that press conference going on. I got so much shit popping off. Y'all know I don't be on the internet like that. Someone hit me up and I was like, okay. So I went. I was waiting for my son to pick him up. I'm playing it. And I'm chilling. I'm just like, all right, what they talking about? Then boom, I see that shit from the guy from Wynn Records. I'm like, oh, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Laila Ali out here staying silent. Yo, that silence is intentional. Me not really saying nothing, that's intentional. Because what it signals is closure. Laila Ali was like, okay, that's closure. Even with me, I'm like, all right, it's closure. What more can I say? You know, people out here jumping ship on me, thinking that a hood champion cage rattled, man. Nothing rattles my cage. Nothing, no one. I just know that it come a point in time, all right, what more can I do and say? But now, you know what I mean? I'm glad y'all MNFers set it off. Used to be hard, now you done went soft. Done got me worked up again. Claressa's camp continue to mention Laila. I don't understand, but it makes it look like the door is being forced back open when it was already shut. There's a lot of people who are kind of, I ain't say they got over things, they just left it alone. They just set it aside. I ain't touching that. And that's kind of where I was. Like, I ain't touching that. Leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? People want to unsubscribe, cancel their memberships. You know what I mean? People don't want to support the lives because of whatever. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I feel is right. But then to have them just, boom, kick the door back open and shit when I already shut it, it's like, what are y'all doing? But hey, I'm down here in the weeds. I don't matter. These content creators on YouTube, they don't matter. We don't mean shit. But to mention that name in any capacity, I'm the people who really have that power when it comes to decision making. Those are the people, man, those are the people paying attention. Y'all think, I hear things. I ain't really paying attention. I just hear shit. Then I pay attention. There's other people sitting back just watching. Those are the people that can affect your money. I can't affect nothing. I get your attention, a little video, my little humor and a little quirkiness and shit. But I ain't really affecting nothing. I'm down in the weeds. But don't get me wrong. In boxing, mentioning another fighter's name usually means one of three things: promotion, rivalry, or leverage. But this situation fits none of those cleanly. Laila Ali is retired. She's chilling. Hey, yo, Laila. Boom, I just blew a kiss at you. Catch that one on the cheek. I know you have no interest in returning. I know they keep mentioning your name. I know when they mention your name, no matter how they mention it, I know that's it makes you feel a kind of way about your pops. I know that. But don't take the bait. We know you already said you ain't gonna allow no one to profit off your father's name, especially when they disrespect y'all. So when Claressa team brings up her now, it doesn't feel like hype, it feels like provocation. And that's where the perception shifts from promotion to disrespect. And that's what it is, okay? That shit ain't promotion, people. That's disrespect. So anybody out here, look, I'm not telling you not to support Claressa. I ain't gonna say nothing like that. That ain't my style. I'm just telling you, don't come out here acting like what Claressa's doing, what her team is doing, is okay. What Claressa was doing before for all those years was okay. Shit was never okay. But Laila combination punched it with them 2 videos. A lot of us on the internet have addressed things. Some people still do it. That ain't me. But I'm back talking about it again. Not the way some of these other people do. But I'm out here talking about it again. I'm going to probably do 100 videos on it because it just rubbed me the kind of way, man. I'm still talking about everybody else in boxing like I've been doing. I'm a boxing channel. I'm not a gossip channel. I'm not a tea channel. But Claressa's boxing and, you say something about Laila. I'll put it to you this way. You take a shot at Laila, you take a shot at me. You take a shot at Muhammad Ali, you take a shot at me. You can't separate Laila Ali from Muhammad Ali. And Hood Champion ain't stepping away from them 2 either, man. My little platform, my little 19,000. Fuck that. I'm using my platform. I'm going to say what I got to say, man. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. Y'all know I don't care about Claressa's relationship. Well, she can do what she wants. Y'all know I don't care about that bullshit. Y'all know what I care about, and that's why I'm talking. That shit ain't fair, man. But it's reality. Muhammad Ali is not just a boxer. Man was a cultural icon. So when Claressa's team mentions Laila after she disengaged, no matter how you mention her name, not only myself, fans interpret it as disrespect by extension. You can't say I respect Muhammad Ali. He's number 1 and I'm number 2. Because I'm the GOAT, and he's the GOAT, and I'm the GOAT, and they just added W-O-A-T. You understand? Are you paying attention to her champion? I just added a W. It's a G-W-O-A-T. Now he's G-O-A-T. All right, Dr. Seuss, I get it. I get it, Dr. Seuss. You can't say you respect Muhammad Ali and continue poking at his daughter publicly, man. Those 2 positions contradict each other in the court of public opinion. This is why so many fans are saying this isn't rivalry. This is mental warfare. And this isn't rivalry. This isn't mental warfare. And this isn't fight promotion. But this is mental warfare for some of us content creators. Because it's perceived as taking shots at a family that has already drawn a boundary. That's why this has drawn renewed attention, even after many people were ready to move on from the drama, especially renewed attention from Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. And I'm going to talk about it. I got about 100 videos coming, so you might as well get your popcorn. I personally think they obsessed with Laila Ali. I ain't gonna lie. I think there's my fan on. Let me plug up my fan. I'm hot. I don't feel good, and I'm aggravated. That air to blow on the champ. Yeah, but I personally think I think they obsessed with Laila Ali. I'm just being real with you. Now remember, I'm on the outside looking in. I'm on the outside looking in. This shit now looks like an obsession rather than a strategy. If someone says no and you keep calling their name, it starts being negotiation. It starts being fixation. Why are you fixated on this person? What's the deal? There is a growing belief that Claressa's team is trying one last time to provoke Laila into reacting. And it's not going to happen, I'm telling you. Not because the fight will happen, but because any recognition gives oxygen. Reaction equals headlines. Laila ain't going to say nothing, but I am. Headlines equal relevance. And relevance is currency. Laila not going to say nothing. Laila's sitting there, man. She probably just sitting there, man, just looking and just taking deep breaths and just blowing her. They ain't going to learn. And she going about her business. Cooking. Something that looked good. Not that Puerto Rican fish. Pap, 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 pap. Laila ain't doing that shit. Laila chilling. She ain't got time for that. But the problem is that these tactics they're employing over there only works if the other side engages. Laila was engaging over the last few years. Not often, but every now and then a reporter would ask her something and she would kind of respond, and she got tired of it. So she dropped 2 videos. She combination punched Claressa Shields. Body, head, uppercut. Side to side movement. Head movement. She hit her with the offense and defense, boy. Laila don't have time for it. She doesn't have time for the bullshit. She said what she had to say and she's moved on, man. She hasn't insulted Claressa. She hasn't mentioned Wynn Records. She hasn't responded to the jokes, to the comments, to anything. She has simply stepped away. That silence is powerful. And every time Claressa Camp brings up her name again, whether it's Claressa bringing it up or her camp bringing it up, it only reinforces the idea that the fixation is one-sided, man. I'm telling you, man, the only people... Let me just say this, right? There is definitely a fixation. It's like they're really hoping to get that goddamn Wu-Tang Cream cha-ching ching dollar bill, y'all, off of Laila Ali's name, because I believe they want to. It's a what's that called? A snatch, a cash and grab, a snap, something, a cash and grab, grabbing cash, whatever the fuck it's called. I think they're just trying to grab the cash and dash by hoping to get a big fight with Laila. And then they get all that money, and then they're done. Wynn Records is retiring. Papoose is good. Claressa is good. And then that whole little team, that shit will dissolve. Boom, we got in. We made our little 20 million or whatever. And everybody, you watching, that whole shit will fall apart. If some real money gets made, I think that whole thing falls apart. Not that Wynn Records won't stay in music. I just think as far as Claressa, they're like, all right, she was the tool that we needed to get certain things done. We got it done. We don't need that tool no more. Put that shit back in the tool shed. We out. That's just my opinion. But hey, some people may disagree with me. Just my opinion. I do believe there are intelligent people on Claressa. So I think there are brilliant minds over there. I just think that they're not showing their brilliance by continuing to mention Laila Ali's name. Yo, that Ali name got some reach. That shit got some reach. And I think that if you keep mentioning Laila's name, doors will stay closed. That's how I feel, especially in boxing. I don't know about music, but in boxing. If there was even a 1% chance of reconciliation, because like me, Hood Champion got a good heart. I was raised with a lot of values, 2 different religions. So there's things in me that I don't discuss on this channel, but I understand Laila. And I'm not saying she grew up as a Muslim, because I really don't know that. But what I can tell you is, I believe she has a quality in her where, depending on what goes on, she's willing to forgive and reconcile and move forward. I don't think she can do that with Claressa at all. And especially at this, after she mentioned her dad's name, and even now still mentioning her name, and the team mentioning her name. I don't, but there's no way. But let's, just for conversation, right? If there was even a 1% chance of reconciliation, these comments destroy it. You don't reopen doors by mocking someone or joking about them. You reopen doors with humility, especially an apology. Because right now the public believes the only words that should be coming out of Claressa's mouth or her team's mouth are, if anything came off as disrespectful, we apologize. That's it. Somebody tell me something. No jokes, no provocation, no reminders, just closure. Just hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Take a deep breath. Make sure you floss and brush your teeth, brush your tongue, gargle. Because nobody wants you taking no deep breath and blowing no shit out around there. Next thing you know, my eyebrows, my hairline don't recede. Next thing you know, my shit get pushed back. I'm out here looking like George Jefferson. Nah, man. Just go ahead and apologize. Because as long as Laila's name is used publicly, it signals to her and the Ali family, we are not respecting your decision. And in boxing culture, disrespect is remembered far longer than wins. This is the shit I've been saying forever and a day. Even after Claressa retires, she's always going to be talked about in negative light. Because she's just putting out negativity, no matter how much she's trying to convince us that she has this clean image and she's an inspiration to kids and she's this role model and how she's talking about the word and religion and trying to be an example for all females of all races, and she's you don't talk the talk, walk the walk. Nobody want to hear that talk. Walk the walk. Because Claressa's image and independence, let me tell you, the situation is also fueling the narrative that Claressa Shields is being led down the wrong path by her team. Especially with Willie Mackey, Papoose. Claressa's a generational talent. Olympic gold medals, undisputed titles, historic resume. She does not need Laila Ali's name to validate her career. She don't need anybody. At this point, I'll even say this. If she was to just break lock with all them people around her and go at a fresh start somewhere, I think Claressa would be better off. I'm just being honest with you. Because her team keeps bringing up Laila. Her team is bringing up Laila Ali now. It makes it seem like Claressa's greatness is being tethered by someone else's legacy. Like, let's be clear here. This is boxing. Boxing's about the fighter. Shit ain't about Papoose. It ain't about Wynn Records. Demetrius Salita matters. But really, it's about Claressa Shields. I think she need to realize that. Claressa, without you, none of them survive. It's like, I don't care if there's an EV. If you can't charge that vehicle, that shit ain't moving. You out here driving an Expedition or something. You can't put no gas in that shit ain't moving. Claressa is the fuel. So, I hope she realizes that, you know what I'm saying? Because she can't allow herself and her greatness to be tethered to someone else's legacy. It's all about her legacy. Many fans now say Claressa needs to stand on her own 2 feet, not just as a fighter, but as a public figure. Now we're seeing what you've been saying, Hood Champion, because we didn't. Now we understand. Yeah, you weren't just out here just trying to be mean. Nah, man. Because I'm telling you, I've been around the block. I can look and see like that. Some of that shit is her, but a lot of that ain't her. Someone is out there encouraging that. Try this, try that. And she went for it. So she stopped. At least today she didn't say nothing. I didn't hear. I didn't watch the whole press conference. I watched about. Actually, I watched when Claressa got up on the podium and spoke. I watched when Franshaw got on the podium and spoke. Then they sat back down. Then my sons came out of school and I haven't watched the rest. So I don't know if there's anything else of significance to hear. But what I'll tell you is, to me, Claressa needs to stand on her own 2 feet. Because if she's so into, her faith now, well, go and apologize to Laila and figure out what you're doing with these guys. If you're in a contract, cool, but bounce. Look, fighters eventually outgrow teams. They outgrow handlers. They outgrow the people who benefit from controversy. Claressa's at that stage. The danger is that her team's behavior can damage her reputation even when she personally stays quiet. Anyway, man. This isn't warfare. It's a bad look, folks. A bad, bad look. Out of all that shit that was said out there, it's the one thing that I remember? Is the guy talking about the little girl and something about talking to the little girl, and he said something about Laila Ali and 15 million. That's it. And Franchon and Claressa, they were talking. Papoose got up there talking. Claressa said the fur was too hot. I don't remember nothing else, man. And I watched that part. I watched that, most of that shit. And I guess because my mind was just so wrapped up on that, like, why are they doing that again? So, it's video number 2. Got 98 more to go. Mental warfare is when 2 active fighters exchange jabs before a bout. This is not that, people. This is a retired fighter being pulled back into conversations against her will. That's why fans are using words like disrespect instead of promotion. And that's why the Ali family name makes this more sensitive than any normal beef. They need to just stop mentioning the Ali name, period. Don't say nothing about Laila. Don't say anything about Laila. Don't even, if you're outside with your kids and you're hopping and skipping, don't even go la 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 la. Don't even do that. La 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 la. Do 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 do. Shut the fuck up. Leave them people alone. God damn. What's the obsession? Like, someone tell me, what's the obsession? I don't get it, man. If Claressa ever lost, like if she loses this weekend, critics would say she spent too much time chasing ghosts instead of building her own future and staying locked in and focusing on what's in front of her. But if she wins, they'll say she tried to borrow Ali's legacy to stay relevant and promote her fights. Either way, this strategy only creates risk, no upside, and people looking at them like they're crazy. So, it's not rivalry. Let me make this crisp. There's no rivalry between Claressa Shields and Laila Ali. There's nothing there. Between Claressa's team and Laila, there's nothing there. There's nothing. People talk about, oh, it's just a rivalry. What rivalry? There's nothing. It's an obsession. So the fact that Claressa has mentioned the name, now the guy on Wynn Records mentioning Laila Ali's name, it's crazy to me, man. Laila said no, she moved on. She doesn't care. Why talk about her? That shit, I'll tell you what, it's only hurting Claressa Shields' public image, man. It's going to hurt opportunities for her. Let's just sit back and watch. Y'all know in my style, I like, we just sit back and set a planning factor, a few dates, and we observe. And now I'm sitting back watching, I'm watching and scrutinizing a lot harder than I was before. Because before I was just like, whatever. I talk my little boxing, do my little thing, but now I'm like, all right. Now I'm back on the case and shit. Blues Clues, what is it called? Detective, what is it? Inspector Gadget, Detective Oso. I'm out here like Bonnie Fife and shit, man. The shakiest gun in the West. I'm out here sheriff and shit. Because I'm telling you right now that when there's no real rivalry and you're trying to promote a rivalry that doesn't exist, it damages perception. It damages your image. And Claressa's being led down the wrong path. This is my opinion. I'm telling you, I think she's being led down the wrong path. And I'm going to do videos about all this stuff because now it's on my mind and it's something I want to talk about. Anyway, y'all leave in the comments, let me know what y'all think. But I just think, man, she being led down the wrong path. And now you're seeing this is what's going on the upper echelon there. You know, the people, when you look at that power structure, Claressa, she's not at the top. The Demetrius leaders, the Wynn Records guys, they're at the top because they're the ones with the money. They're the ones out here putting on the events. Claressa has a fight, they pay her. Even though without her, they don't exist. But really, that's part of the power structure. You're seeing the guys who are those figureheads, right? Who are out here, and now the more people talk, the more you learn about them. And now you're seeing like, holy shit. These are conversations that were happening behind closed doors, obviously. And Laila Ali's name was being brought up. For that guy in particular to even say anything about Laila, that just tells me there's a lot of conversations that have happened. And things and ways of planning and plotting to try to get Laila to react, to take the bait and make a fight. And I'm just telling you, I believe that. You know why? Because I've spent a lot of years in situations with people and having behind the door discussions. And when you go out, certain things you're not supposed to say. What happened today was you heard somebody in their own way throw something out there that has been talked about behind closed doors, which is about Laila Ali, the 15 million, the fight. It didn't happen. There still may be a hope. There's something. That's why it came off like that. Those are behind the door conversations that have happened. But the person who's supposed to go out there and speak, it shouldn't be those guys. It should be Claressa. Now you got this guy coming out here saying something, and it's just a bad look. You know who's probably the smartest one out of all the ones? Probably Papoose. Probably Papoose. He probably the smartest one. Because he doesn't say shit. He's very smart. I saw him on an interview here like, yo, shout out the Ali family. Papoose he's the one who got the most sense. I'm sure he's sitting back having conversations, but he ain't gonna come out in the public and say nothing. He's like me. There's a lot of things I'll say, but I ain't gonna come out in public and say it. So I recognize that. But anyway, I think Claressa's being led down the wrong path. I think it's time for her to wake up and shake them off. What Ja Rule say to Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder? Let's shake. Let's shake. Claressa needs to start shaking them effers off, man. Stand on her own 2 feet and get her shit together, because I just don't understand. I'm telling y'all, I don't understand. But anyway, they didn't got my attention. So the champion done jumped out the bushes again. I got about 98 videos coming. Not just because the fight's coming up, because of what was said. So even after the fight, I'm going to keep talking until I get this shit out of my system. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.